Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand something powerful today. When a man steps back, when he goes silent, when he creates distance, most women panic. They think it's over. They rush towards him, texting, calling, begging for clarity. But let me tell you something. For a confident woman, that space is never the end. It's simply the test. He's not gone for good. He is watching from far to see if you lose yourself without him or if you stay strong enough to keep living, glowing, and growing even in his absence. The strongest women never chase. They let him fill the void. When a man senses that his presence was a privilege in your life and not a survival kit, that's the moment he starts planning his comeback. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever a man suddenly steps back, reduces his calls, becomes distant, or even disappears completely, many women take it as a heartbreaking sign that the relationship is over. But in the world of a high-value man, stepping back does not always mean ending things. Sometimes it simply means he is silently watching from afar. He is trying to see what kind of woman you truly are without him standing right beside you. It is not said out loud, but this distance becomes a powerful test. He wants to observe whether you lose your confidence without him or whether you hold your head high and continue living your life with strength, dignity, and purpose. Men are attracted to value, to depth, to a woman who carries herself like someone who does not crumble just because a man has stepped into the shadows for a moment. If you fall apart, cry to him, ask him why he is distant, or make emotional demands. He quietly confirms in his mind that you were never truly strong on your own. But if you stay calm, respectful, and focused on your own growth, he starts to see you as a rare kind of woman who deserves a powerful comeback, not a goodbye. The truth is, a man wants to feel that you add value to his life, not that you are depending on him to survive emotionally. So when he creates that space, he wants to watch how you utilize it. Do you fill it with self-improvement, joy, new achievements, and a deeper peace? Or do you fill it with negativity, anxiety, overthinking, and begging for his attention? Because the woman who continues to bloom while he is gone is the woman he will always want to return to. High-value women know that their worth does not shrink when a man stops texting or calling. Their ability to stay composed becomes the very reason he realizes he may lose something irreplaceable if he does not come back stronger. This test isn't about games. It's deeper than that. He is subconsciously asking, can she hold her own without me? If the answer is yes, that is the exact moment his desire to return begins to grow silently in his heart. When you continue to shine in his absence, a fire lights up in his focus. He starts wondering what you're doing, how you are smiling without him, who you are becoming while he's not around. Men crave to be with a woman who brings peace, purpose, and pride into their world. Not drama, desperation, and insecurity. That's why you must understand the power of patience, because this part of his behavior, though confusing, is a delicate moment that will decide whether he circles back or disappears forever. The women who pass this emotional test understand that they do not chase love, they attract it by becoming the best version of themselves. They don't break down in the name of attachment. They rise up in the name of self-worth. They don't protest about the distance. They use the distance to remind the man that she was always the prize. So when a man steps back, don't see it as punishment. See it as a filter. You are being filtered to see if you truly believe in your own value. Keep working on your passion. Keep elevating your standards. Keep speaking power into your life, because if he is truly meant for you, he will realize very quickly that walking away from a woman who continues to glow without him was his biggest mistake. That's when he plans his return, not to test you again, but to claim you stronger than before. Until that moment comes, remain still in your silence, firm in your boundaries, and loud in your progress. Because the man who pulls back just to observe your value always comes back when he realizes you kept your crown on without even flinching. Ladies and gentlemen, when a man steps away, slows down communication, or disappears without an explanation, this is not always the end of the relationship. Sometimes it is a well-hidden emotional test to determine the depth of your patience, the strength of your self-respect, and the maturity of your emotions. A woman whose value is deeply rooted in herself never panics when a man stops showing the same energy, because she understands that true love is never proved with chaos, urgency, or fear. It is proved with grace. In that silent gap, he is not only watching what you do, he is watching who you become. Are you a woman who can remain calm when faced with confusion? Are you a woman who can wait without losing herself? Are you a woman who stays grounded, or do you lose your balance and demand reassurance? This test is not about how loudly you fight for him. It is about how gracefully you stand for yourself. A man may create distance when he wants to know whether you truly carry self-respect or whether your worth is built entirely around getting attention from him. A lot of women think that if they keep calling, keep sending long emotional messages, or keep asking for explanations, he will appreciate their efforts. But in reality, it is often the opposite. A self-respecting woman trusts herself in that space and does not act desperate. She knows how to protect her heart without chasing someone who isn't choosing to show up consistently. That level of patience creates a powerful contrast. Instead of thinking, she's waiting on me, he begins saying to himself, she respects herself too much to run after me. That's when the test shifts. He starts questioning his own behavior. He starts wondering why he backed up in the first place. His curiosity grows because your emotional maturity is rare. You didn't break your boundaries, you didn't start drama, and you didn't abandon your dignity in his absence. An emotionally mature woman knows that real connection does not need constant supervision. She understands that what is meant for her will return stronger, not weaker, so she accepts the test with quiet power. She continues working on herself, building her dreams, looking beautiful, staying focused, and vibrating higher in every area of life. She does not let the storm in her heart show on her face. This is what a man looks for without telling her directly. He wants to see if she can remain true to herself under emotional pressure, if she can stay patient without turning cold or disrespectful, if she can protect her self-worth without punishing him. Because the woman who can do that not only passes the test, she becomes unforgivable. He knows deep in his soul that he may find pleasure somewhere else, but he will never find emotional stability with the same level of class again. When she refuses to chase, but also refuses to hate, when she stays soft but not foolish, when she stays present in her own life without forcing her presence in his, She displays a kind of emotional intelligence that makes a man rethink everything. That's the moment he begins planning a way back in. He wants to come back, not just because he misses her, but because he respects her. Because she showed strength through silence and wisdom through waiting. This type of woman becomes a silent standard in his life. No matter where he goes, he keeps remembering how she didn't lose control, how she didn't nag, how she didn't break. And then slowly but surely, the very act of distancing himself from her becomes the reason he starts craving her again. This test reveals the truth that patience, self-respect, and emotional maturity are the qualities that separate a woman he dates casually from a woman he commits to deeply. A man returns to the woman who passed the test, not with loud desperation, but with quiet power. When a man creates distance, he doesn't just observe your words, he observes your energy. The way you respond when he steps back shows him everything he needs to know about your true strength, confidence, and emotional stability. If you panic, start chasing, or begin doubting yourself, he quietly realizes that you don't truly believe you are a prize. But if you remain focused, calm, and continue elevating your life, he sees a woman who knows her value regardless of anyone's presence. In separation, your reaction communicates louder than anything you could say. A woman who keeps shining, keeps laughing, and keeps building her dreams without losing herself shows that her love is not rooted in fear, but in faith. That's powerful, because when a man steps away, what he is really testing is your inner world. Do you fall apart when he's not around, or do you stay whole without needing his constant approval? When you show that you stay grounded even when things are uncertain, he quickly understands that you are not a woman to be toyed with. You are a woman to be treasured. Sometimes men pull away just to measure your emotional temperature. If you become cold, angry, or start trying to guilt trip him, he thinks you're unstable. But if you choose maturity, peace, and patience, he starts to see a woman he doesn't want to lose. Men deeply admire a woman who is emotionally steady because it's rare. When you understand that space is not your enemy but your silent stage to show your grace, you react differently. Instead, you don't text paragraphs, don't demand attention, don't throw accusation. You let your silence speak volumes while you keep watering your own garden. This reaction confuses him in the best possible way. Most women desperately try to pull him back, but you let him feel what life is like without you. That contrast becomes the wake-up call. Suddenly, he's realizing the peace and warmth he felt around you isn't so easy to replace. Your reaction becomes the mirror that makes him evaluate himself. He's not coming back just because he misses you, but because he has now come to respect the way you handled what he thought would shake you. There is something incredibly attractive about a woman who remains confident even when a man she cares about goes distant. It shows self-trust. It tells him you were whole before him and you'll remain whole after him too. This doesn't mean you don't feel hurt or confused. It simply means you don't let those feelings control your behavior. When your reaction is elegant and controlled, it creates mystery. He starts wondering how you can be so calm. That curiosity drives him right back to you. He remembers how you didn't argue, didn't beg, and didn't crumble. He remembers how your energy stayed beautiful, positive, and secure. That's the kind of reaction that makes him realize he stepped away from a high-value woman. Men always come back to the woman who reacts like a queen under pressure. Every time a man pulls away, he's silently asking, are you going to chase me or stand firm in your value? The woman who chooses herself without bitterness wins his respect. She focuses on her goals, keeps her routine, invests in her happiness, and reacts not with chaos, but with quiet confidence. That reaction plants a seed in his mind, a powerful realization. If I don't return, someone else will appreciate her strength and grace. He starts feeling the fear of loss because your reaction assured him that you will not wait forever. You're not reacting with desperation, you're reacting with dignity. And that alone separates you from every other woman he has known. When your reaction in separation is rooted in self-love, it makes him see you not as an option, but as a once-in-a-lifetime woman he should never risk losing again. When a man steps away, the energy you give off in response becomes the deciding force in whether he eventually comes back or keeps moving forward without you. Desperation, the need to call him constantly, question him repeatedly, or beg for his presence only confirms in his mind that he can keep controlling the situation without giving you effort. That pushes him further away. Confidence, however, has the opposite effect. When you carry yourself with quiet certainty, trust your worth, and refuse to fall apart during his absence, you unconsciously pull him back towards you. Men instinctively move away from women who seem emotionally dependent, but they are magnetically drawn to women who don't seek validation from them for their self-esteem. You see, he needs to feel that you want him, not that you need him. Your confidence reminds him that being with you is a privilege, not a rescue mission. That very mindset creates a natural gravitational force that makes him uncomfortable with losing you forever. When you respond to his distance with strength instead of fear, you create curiosity inside his mind. Men are wired to chase, so when you do not chase him, he starts wondering why. He begins to realize that desperation is nowhere in your spirit. This kind of woman is rare, a woman who can care deeply yet not compromise her dignity in pursuit of someone else's attention. As time passes, your confidence becomes louder than any words you could speak. It whispers to him that if he continues to stay away, another man might show up who values you with consistency. That silent awareness terrifies him, and that is exactly why men return to confident women while they forget the ones who beg. You never want to force your way into his attention because anything that has to be forced loses its value. Instead, you simply remain radiant and composed, letting him naturally remember what life feels like when he has you close. And when that memory outweighs his ego, he comes back. Confidence is not about pretending you don't care. It is about choosing yourself even while you care. It's about being honest with your emotions without handing over your power. It means you still wake up, go to work, stay committed to your goals, smile genuinely, and allow life to move through you even without his daily attention. That kind of energy makes a man think twice. He will question his own choice to pull away. He may have started that test to see how hard you'd fight, but what shakes him is how gracefully you stood your ground. You don't need to delete his number, block him, or make dramatic statements. Your calm confidence quietly tells him, I'm not afraid to lose someone who is afraid to choose me. That statement doesn't need to be spoken. It's felt through your behavior during separation.